If you guys can, I think the mic's on. If you guys can hear me, just give me 1 minute. We accidentally clicked the live button too early. I had lag in the OBS, and I wanted to make sure the lag went away. I was going to restart the OBS. If we're not getting any lag, I won't restart it because shutting down the live stream's a pain in the ass. I got to shut it down, and if I go back on the live stream, I got some serious head going on. If I start the live stream again, the YouTube will it'll connect it to, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Anyway, welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we're going to talk about Fear the Walking Dead's Season 4 finale. I got to fix that hair. My hair gets crazy when you start growing in, and it's not long enough to do nothing with it, but it's too short to do shit with it. So, a couple things to go over. There's a lot to unpack here. If you love Fear the Walking Dead, I do want to highlight the moments that we love. There was only 2 moments in this season finale that I really did like and I really did enjoy. I do want to talk about those. And if you love stuff in this episode, I do want to save a segment for the end for you guys who love it to say so, and then let's discuss it. But I hated it. I hated it so much. I'm not reviewing next year. It's that bad. Like, it was that bad. And I will explain why. I'm not going to just say I hate it and then no explanation. It was so bad, in my opinion, it killed, for me, the Rick and Morgan dynamic. If Morgan wants to help people, have the same ending, and then have him going towards Alexandria, but slowly helping people, but still going there. It was like and it's so transparent. The writers know Rick is dead. The writers know there's no hurry to get Morgan to Alexandria for anything. Someone said something about the lighting. The lighting makes me look like a ginger. I actually have dirty blonde hair. So, yeah, the lighting, I know when it's really short it looks brown. So, but you'll see it glisten in my my beard and stuff, especially out in the sun. I actually have dirty blonde hair. I used to have, like, blonde hair, like Eminem blonde when I was younger. Now that I'm getting older, it gets darker. In the summer, if I'm outside all the time, it turns blonde as shit. So, yeah, if my hair looks a little ginger, you're probably getting as it gets longer, the blonde comes out. So, anyway, man, I'm going to dive into all my notes. And it's bad. It was bad. It was just so bad. Here's how the writer... Okay, you know what? We need to do this. There's a tension. Yep, Morgan, his people, they're dying. He needs to get to them. He needs to get to them. Here's how a good writer would do it. Okay, what do we got? Well, here's the rules of the world. There's no gas because that died out a few months ago. There's no batteries because a car batteries only last in a few months while it's connected in a car. And then he'll figure out a way within the rules of the world they're building to make it connected and to make it happen. Here's what the writers are doing now. They clearly don't give a shit. They go like this. Okay, we want Morgan to save the day. He found a truck. Which, that was the part I actually loved. The one part in the thing I actually loved. But throughout the whole episode, I just found this cop car that was sitting here for how long? Months? A few years? Keep in mind, this is 3 or 4 years into the apocalypse by now. Morgan is here after all the events on The Walking Dead. It's got to be, and he traveled from the East Coast. So it's 3 years to 4 years, definitely, right? That car's been sitting there. A car battery dies within a few months. Gas goes bad within 30 days to, I know for lawnmowers, we used to have to take the gas out for the winter. But I did look it up before I went live. That's actually what took me a little bit to go live. I looked it up and it said you can actually put treatment in gas and it'll make it last about 12 months to 15 months. Even if you put mad treatment in that bitch and it was the most treated gas in the world, you're not just going to walk up to any old car and be like, vroom, vroom, because between the gas, the luck with the gas and the battery, and then she just finds a walkie-talkie, and I even wrote down, I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm not even in my notes yet, but I even wrote down, if she picks up a walkie-talkie and it, she clicks it on to do it, and if it doesn't work, why even have it in there? Why? What is the purpose of that? And then we find out the purpose, 2 reasons: to give us exposition, to tell us, where she got there and why. And then another reason to have, after the worst opener in the history of openers, the convenience of the double walker. She only has 2 shotgun bullets. Just like Morgan and that lady are stuck. I think I sent this tweet out. No, I thought about it. I didn't send it out, but I did on Facebook. The writers are stuck in convenience. Everything they write is just sheer convenience. Cop car, boom, breaks the window, finds a walkie-talkie. Cop car has a good battery. Cop car has gas. And then, we got double walkers, but she only got 2 shotgun shells. Yeah, look at that. And then by the time she turns around to kill the real threat, because the real threat in that situation is a human. A zombie, you can sidestep, you know what I mean? There, I just sidestepped the zombie. They're not even that deadly. They're not 28 days later zombies. That zombie wasn't running down the street and then lunging at you. All you had to do was sidestep and shoot the bitch in front of you. Pop, pop, 2 of them. You can sidestep and shoot at the same time. And by the time you're done, you can even scratch your ass. And then that zombie's maybe in distance to be lethal. But no, she turns around because the writers are stuck on convenience. And the girl's looking at her with this stupid smirk. And I have to give it, the actress, whatever they told her to do for that character, she did it. She went in. So I give her credit on that. I'm not knocking the actress. The girl who played the villain, the worst villain in the history of villains, she hammed it up. And obviously that's what they told her to do. But she hammed it up so much. It was so dumb. She turns back around. She's just like, wow. And then, all right. So in my notes, The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead Season 9. The Walking Dead's 1 week away. I just want to talk about something nice. Let me plug Doomsday Kingdom, by the way. Issue 3 is out now, digitally. Doomsday Kingdom, it's my comic. Go check it out, doomsdaykingdom.com. I need a breather from all the umph. Issue 3 is out digitally, just saying, and it's a banger. Trust me, it's a banger. Anyway, she just finds the walkie-talkie, check. I talked about that. The cop car checks. Why even have that scene in there? She just hot wires it. I don't care if she knows how to hot wire it, but it really starts. The battery's already got that 2 shots. Okay, I did cover pretty much some of this. Morgan remembers the tiger's dead, right? Because they mentioned the tiger, and I know Morgan had the scene in the beginning where he got to the kingdom, and he was all like, they have a tiger. And it was a cute scene with Carol, but when they mentioned the tiger, Morgan should have been like, yeah, the king's still there, but the tiger got it. I mean, he remembers that, right? He was around for that, right? He didn't just bounce in the... I mean, the tiger was dead for a little chunk. He heard about that, right? I don't know. All right. So Morgan's going to go alone. And they're going to go alone to Alexandria. Hated that moment with the passion. She's one person. She's not trained. She has no military training or background. She was a teacher or an English teacher before this. No supreme badass, man or woman. She has no lethal training whatsoever. She never even took so much as a karate class. She's that dangerous, so he goes alone. And she's wounded and slowly dying. He even says it. They should have all just said, all right, well, shit. I mean, it's a teacher. It's an English teacher who's wounded and bleeding out and dying. Let's just go and handle that shit. But no, he goes alone. And then the original cast, I thought that was ironically cringy. They're sitting around talking about, should we go? Should we go to Alexandria? Yeah, I don't know. There was something about that scene. Knowing the stuff behind the scenes and how they had the crossover with Morgan, who is clearly the leader now. Which I know a lot of fans were talking about that, and I was like, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Morgan's here to kick up those ratings and then get your black ass on back to the motherfucking main show, because that's where you belong. You know what I mean? But no, he's here to stay. He's the leader, and I love Lenny James. I mean, that guy can make me cry opening a candy bar. He can open one of his protein bars and make a couple facial, his expression. It's incredible. But the way they do it and the way he just forgets about his old group and crew and Rick, and he's like, they don't matter. There's people they need to help. Morgan wants to help people. I'm good, and we're going to get to a part I really did like, but I didn't think it worked the way they wrote it. He can help people on the way to Alexandria. He can go to where, for all he knows, his own people that he went to war with, they need his help again, for all he knows. But no, they're just going to hang around this area. Why? Because some crazy English teacher went nuts? Come on. I already talked about car batteries. I'm not talking about that again. All right, so Al's weak again. It fits. But stop with the artificial tension. This was a scene that I really thought it highlights, I think, how the story could be good for others, and it's a taste issue. And for me, it's just more frustrating than good. Al gets sick. She falls down. June sees her. The zombies are coming, and then Alicia comes out and shoots the zombies and stuff. And instead of... what they did was they built artificial tension. That's all they did. Here's artificial tension is, oh no, what's going to happen? She's weak, she falls down, June yells, but she's too far away. And then Alicia shoots out of nowhere, zombies are dead. At no point in time was I ever on the edge of my seat being like, oh my God. I was like this, we know for one in the previews, she's coming up next in a different scene. So, like, come on now. And then when Alicia shows up, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm going to be mean and I'm going to say it. But a better writer would have recognized that artificial tension is only going to fool maybe 20 or 30%. And I don't mean fool, but it's only going to grip maybe 20 or 30% of the audience. Let's make this a hoorah kick-ass moment for the crew having her back. So instead of doing that artificial moment, just show a moment where she is weak, she does fall down, June notices, then go right to Alicia, and the focus is on Alicia, not the artificial tension there, and you show Alicia come out and handle shit. She's an older character, she really feels like, especially in this finale, she got kicked to the curb like crazy. The whole original cast did. Anyway, focus should have been on Alicia, I feel like, in that moment, instead of the artificial attention. Them all getting sick, though, in that moment, I had to write down A+++. That was one moment I loved that. I did 100%. I liked it. I think the way they unveiled it was a little meh. They could have racked that tension with the camera slowly panning. We know Al's sick, and then you see June sick, and you're like, wait, what's going on? And as the camera finishes the pan, you time it perfectly with her saying, something's wrong, we all are sick. And then as the camera finishes that rotation, just as she's saying it, you see everyone in the background, dun dun, like then it has some weight to it. The way they did it, I thought was, it was in that vein, sort of, so to speak, but I don't know, for some reason, I have to go back and rewatch that, but I genuinely did like that part in the story. They already set it up a while ago, and I liked that, but hated how they all pretty much gave up after their one attempt. So the lady says, I'll take the medicine. She crashes the car. That's dumb. Writing on his head, the way they filmed that, I even laughed out loud. That was so terribly. That should have been on the editing floor. We get it. We know she wrote on his head. I can't ever go back and rewatch that. They did the fake closing eyes, and she's there with the pen, like, it looks so stupid. The walkie, it's antifreeze, and then they go out and they're gonna get the medicine for the antifreeze. So I might need your help on this one. In the one episode, they said, remember when the crazy lady, came with the SWAT van and she shot at them, right? Remember that stupid cliffhanger? I could have sworn Al said, the bitch shot all my ammo. She's out of ammo. Remember when they were like, what is she doing? Somebody, please, if you have that, please go look at that and see if she says that. Because right as they're in trouble, Al screams, get down! And I was waiting for an epic moment where she's like, get down, pulls the thing, and then we hear, click, 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 and then she's like, oh shit, that's right, I'm out of ammo. And then they really ramp up the tension and they gotta figure something out. I thought they were gonna have Luciana be like, you know what, Strand, do what you gotta do. She gets their attention and she does some brave runaway thing. You know, she's weak and they tell her, no, don't go, but she's like, no, get it. And she's running, maybe weak, but leading them away. But we know it's only a matter of time before she collapses and they just, you know, devour her, and then they could do some type of, awesome rescue or something in that vein. But no, Al just guns them all down. With what? With what ammo? She reloaded them. Is that all it was? I mean, okay. I just figured that the way they were set up, how much ammo they shoot at once, I just figured they would have enough ammo. They would hold enough ammo. That would be all the ammo she had. You know, I didn't know she went back and reloaded all the guns. Did they show her do that? Maybe they showed her do that. Maybe I got to go back and look at what type of guns they were. Because I just figured, with the amount of bullets they shoot and with the amount of bullets we saw her shoot, where is she putting all that ammo? I don't know. Maybe it's just in my head. Anyway, okay, they're all sick and they're all sitting around. Way to really get us to love these characters. And it's a damn shame because there's some of them that have so much potential. John Dory is a standout in my opinion. But all of them, I think, to a certain degree, have a lot of potential. They're being underutilized. And then you have the moment where they're sick, and this is the moment where we can really get sucked in and immersed with what they're going through. Have them fighting till the very end, no matter any which. But no, because this is solely about Morgan, and in my opinion, either a budget that didn't allow for it, or writers who were either burned out, either incompetent, or didn't give a shit. They just simply said, they're sick, they'll wait until they die and have this dumb conversation with Morgan, and that's it. Way to get us to really pull for characters who are just sick and dying, and they just sit there until they die. I'm sorry, but I hated that right into my bones. I hated that. So then they drink the beer, Angie's ale. I forget what it's called. Angie's. I love that part. That was the second part I did like. They ran into the guy with the beer. I don't know how Morgan found his beer truck. I don't even know if I remember the guy having a damn beer truck. I'm sure it's got to be in there somewhere. But I do love how that comes back around. They were poisoned with antifreeze. I got to look that up. Is that all you do if you're poisoned with antifreeze? You drink a beer? Because for a moment there, I was like, I love how that came around full circle. So I'm not even going to Google this right now. If you get antifreeze poison and you drink a beer, that'll cure you. I was just like, I'm going to enjoy this extra cheese right now because I hated so much of this episode. It actually made me to not want to watch it more. Remember in season 3, I was like, guys, I hate feeling like this. And I hate feeling like this. I dread this. I do not like this. For a number of reasons we won't get into now, but I do not like this. I hate having to say this. Season 3, I wasn't even going to watch season 4. But I was like, man, that season 4 trailer, there was a bit of a redemption song in that trailer. You know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I got to give it a shot. I don't know what they could possibly do for a season 5 trailer where I'm even going to give a shit. I just don't even care. Yeah, Morgan's still alive. I mean, but doesn't matter. He's not Morgan anymore. You know, he's not more. To me, Morgan died. He's dead. He dreamed about having a happy life with the rest of them in Fear, and then he decided, no, I need to get back to my people. And then he died on the way, tragically. What else did I write? Strand sharing a drink. I take it back. There was another little moment I did enjoy. We see Strand and we see Alicia and they're sharing a drink. And for a moment I was like, got it. Nice, subtle, strong, because that's the daughter of his friend. And then he was in a a rut when his buddy died, his drinking buddy. And then Strand opens his fucking mouth and he's got to say it because we are too stupid to put two and two together on our own. And I do think the actor has a lot of charisma. If you're ever in this situation again, don't even listen to the director. When shit like that comes up, just don't even listen to the director. Absolutely refuse to speak those lines. We know, Strand. We know. Stop. And this isn't to Strand. This is to the writers and the directors or whoever was responsible for that line. Why do you treat us like we are just so stupid? Yes, we miss things. I'm sure in my first impression reviews and stuff like that, I've missed a few things. I've had to go back but that doesn't hurt it. There's a handful of fans out there who, they miss a lot of stuff. I get it. But Hollywood caters to just that. The moment he said that, it just sucker punched that subtle, beautiful moment right in its balloon knot. Just wound up and pop. Full force, brutal left hook. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, so we get John. Oh, yeah. I did like another little scene. John is sitting down. They're all drinking the beer. And then they pan over to Charlie. And she's drinking the beer. And John is like, whoa. You're not old enough yet. Yada, yada, yada. And June is like, well, Charlie, she was poisoned. It's a cheesy scene, but I liked it still. And then he's like, well, no getting poisoned again till you're 21. And then Charlie just gave him this look and she starts chugging. I like that little moment, So, oh man. Pre-orders for the physical copy of Doomsday Kingdom, they're going to go live this week, so stay tuned. We're just buffing some things up and making sure that we're going to be shipping a lot quicker, and we are. It's going to be great. A lot of you are going to love it because we're doing it in waves. So we're going to start shipping probably the first wave in the middle of October. I'm so excited. People are going to be like, oh my God, this is so much faster than before. Anyway, doomsdaykingdom.com, just saying. All right, I love people washing crazy away. Oh, yeah. That's not love. That's lose. I didn't even read my own handwriting. Morgan's got the I lose people, I lose myself written on his head, right? Like a drunken frat boy who had a whole lot of mistake last night. And then he washes it off. And I thought, man, I like that. It's a shame it was so stupid getting up into this point, especially that villain. And this is what hurts me because I feel like, or hurts my brain, because I feel like there's definitely talent there in the writing, but this is what it's fresh talent who haven't had time to polish their craft. They're in over their head a little bit, or the budget, the restrictions, something got in the way, and you can tell. The show went from like, okay, we are soaring, doing pretty good. We took that break, we came back, and it was like somebody clubbed the showrunners, and they were half dazed finishing the rest of the season out. It was noticeably night and day. Dear God, is this the same people? It feels like, as a writer myself, I'm only speculating, one of them, in a very stoned state of mind, high as hell, was like, yo, I love this idea of a villain writing stuff down, and we'll get to why, but they write, I lose people and I lose myself on Morgan's forehead, and then Morgan makes this triumphant connection with his people, and we show him finally conquering the crazy, the clear Morgan, and he washes it off his face because, get it? He used to write it everywhere. On the walls, clear, on rocks, all over his house. Guys, if you think about that, like that one moment, I guarantee you they were high as shit eating a ton of like weed brownies. They came up with this amazing one moment, and then they forced everything to get to that one moment. And if you think to that one moment alone, I love that. Imagine Morgan getting stuck and going crazy, and then writing on everything, all his insanity. And then this other girl that he runs into gets stuck, and she writes her insanity on people to use as weapons. Fucking stupid, but still, her writing the insanity, similar, paralleling Morgan, and then her writing it on him, and then him finally conquering his crazy, and then him washing it off. Hence, like his baptism or his rebirth. Or I mean, if you think about that and break that down, I would want more time to dive into that symbolism, and maybe one day I will go back just for that one moment, just to pick it apart and show. No matter how beautiful this is in concept, it was an absolute fail, in my opinion, getting there. That makes me even more worse than just getting... Oh, I'm sorry, I hit the microphone. That makes me... It scared me a little bit. A little pee came out. That makes me more mad than just getting a straight boring episode. Because you can see how they might have come up with that idea that was so epic, and then they just squeezed everything in there. And the telltale signs, and the only reason I'm saying I think this is what happened, and this could be totally wrong, but I noticed, like, as a writer too, over the years of honing my craft, I would do some shit like that too, where I come up with this really good idea, and then I'll fall in the trap of letting too many conveniences, too much convenient shit lead me to where I'm going. And sometimes you have to push those amazing ideas back. You got to push them back, because within the rules you set up in the world and how everything's structured, you can't get there quick enough. And I think that's what they did. And it's a damn shame. Because symbolically, I think that moment is powerful and awesome. And I loved it in concept, in theory. Anyway, when Morgan came out and said... I forget how he started it, because I think I blacked out. But he said, no, we're not doing that, homie. We're doing some other shit. You thought we were going to Alexandria? And then they were like, whoa, that's not... He said, okay, you can go. I'm not going. I immediately got to my phone, because, it's 2018. That's just what we do. And I went on Twitter with my bitch fit. 100%. I'll admit it. I was like... Morgan says he's not going back to Alexandria, and I'm like, that's funny, because I'm not going back to Fear the Walking Dead. I'm done. And I mean it. Season 5 trailer, there better be... It better be so damn amazing. I can't even speak, think, or function for at least 30 seconds after. It better be that amazing. Or else there's no way. Kicking and screaming, you're not getting me back here for that. And I promise you, we have enough time up until that point. I will come up with some other replacement content. Guaranteed. Trust me. Anyway, we are going to find these people. Yeah, I already told you guys that was just stupid. There's people who need help everywhere. You can help people. Imagine... fans being locked into Fear the Walking Dead, knowing they're helping people along the way to get to Alexandria. You'll get fans hooked, knowing that eventually they're going to get there, they're going to help people along the way, just whatever. And then the last thing I wrote is they betrayed Morgan and the connection Morgan had with Rick and the gang back at original Walking Dead. And that's honestly how I feel. I just feel like they just betrayed it all. I mean, I might be overreacting with that. I didn't want them to go straight to Alexandria. I've talked about this before. I want them to say they're going to go and then get caught up in it, and other shit like that. Just... It's the Nick problem. Nick just in a post-apocalyptic environment, Nick is like, oh, my family? Oh, the house is burning? I imagine you have... knowing none of the details, I imagine you had something to do with it. I'm just... in the post-apocalypse, I'm just going to walk away. Because, again, the writers, they want B. So they let A convenience get them to B's endpoint. Lucy and the whatever, the Colonia. So they just have him walk away from his family. His family in the post-apocalypse. And then when they show the flashbacks, it makes it even worse. Because he was just a spoiled little bitch. I'm done with the first impression review. I thought this was, for a finale on top of it, it was like they expected you to eat a sandwich by placing it in front of your open mouth and then suddenly punching it down your throat. That is how they wanted you to, with how much they caked on the shit with him being wounded and getting back to them, and they're just dying, because we either don't have budget or story, or who knows, who gives a shit what the reason is. The point is, you want us to root for these characters, and they're just going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to chill here and die, bro. Even when they were talking to Morgan, they're like, no, Morgan, you do all you, because that's all you are the only one who matters right now. So just, where is the original cast too? Man, if I was Alicia, I'd be getting the fuck up out of there and go do some other shit, because there's enough of the fan base already built in with that character to do some other show. She was on the 100, and she was probably one of the most famous to leave out of that, right? Am I right or wrong? She might not be. I'm just guessing, because I haven't heard of anybody else from the 100, but I've heard of Alicia. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say her name, but I always screw it up. Alicia Debnam Dubstep Carey or something. I don't know. It's fucking bullshit. Breathe. Woosah. Anyway, I'm going to take a hit of this that has no THC in it whatsoever. And then we are going to go into the fan feedback. Holy mother of God. I just noticed that. Hold on. We got a super chat. I need to stop everything and get to this super chat. Somebody just donated a $50 super chat. I see another one too. Frederick Bailey with the pimpin' $50 donation to the channel to help it. Lord knows we need it. AMC just came after me again for a couple more videos. And you'll know about it because I got to re-upload them. The opening minutes, I think that's the only one. Honestly, I'm not going to have time to get to them all. But AMC came after me for... I played the clip where Michonne laughed. AMC, how petty can you be? And it was manually done. That means somebody was going around looking for shit, and they got to that one moment, and they marked it too. From this moment to this moment, the little girl's coloring for a few seconds, and then Michonne laughed. Remember I said I loved her laugh? I play her laugh, and they got me for it. Like AMC just gotta make that money. Oh my God. That video was even doing good. I'm making like $5 here and $5 there, and then that video actually made like $20, and AMC's like, nope, and that $29 mine, homie. I was like, oh, fuck you. Well, we'll see about it. We'll see about that. So I privated it, and I'm gonna re-upload it with Michonne's laugh out of there. Anyway, back to Frederick, like a boss, with a $50 donation. Ronnie, just wanted to say hello. Where is your hat? I got my hat right here. Boom. Look at this. Love you and your family. From my family, we will always support you. Frederick, baby, I love you. I need it, brother. I need it. Because I got some big plans. And some of you get triggered when I talk about plans, so we're not going to talk about it. Even though, hang on soon, because I'm posting those videos you said I'd never post. They're on their way, so somebody's about to eat crow. Thank you very much for that. Support, though. I really appreciate that. And if you guys noticed a little downtrend in uploads, I want to remind you the schedule that we want to be on is Monday through Friday. Saturday will stay no uploads unless there's any special uploads, unless there's something for, I want to save that for editing other videos, and I want to save that for any updates we need on Doomsday Kingdom, like the issue commentaries and stuff like that. And then Sunday is the live stream. And like I said, if there's anything that's important, any news that breaks, I'll make a specialty video. But I want to keep it on that schedule so people know when they're coming home from work or coming home from school or doing this and that, coming home from a sketchy hotel. Who knows? That way they know, okay, it's Saturday. I could probably chill. Ronnie's got no uploads because... Why do I make it seem like your lives revolve around me? It makes me feel good, okay? Let me have that. And then we got another $10 donation from Godzilla2472. Oh my God, worst villain ever. Worst opening ever. Agreed. You telling me Al can't just shoot the walker and then that bitch, and then she knocks her out when she's aiming her shotgun at her? Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, unless I'm wrong, they did the click click like she ran out of bullets. That's not helping at all. That's not helping you guys whatsoever, at all, because of the convenience of, oh, she only had two. And I know what they were thinking. Yeah, fans are going to be like, oh, she only had one bullet. I know. Let's get another zombie to come from the side and we can see it sneaking up on her. Yeah, fans won't. They'll love it. No? So fucking stupid. Ronnie, you should do a Game of Thrones unless you already do it. Yep, we already do it. When it comes back, we are going to discuss every single episode. Ooh, that's on Sunday nights. Ooh, we might add Game of Thrones to the live stream because we talk every Sunday no matter what. You know what I'm saying? If Game of Thrones comes back on, I think it's delayed, but if it comes back on when the Walking Dead main show is on, we might just do Game of Thrones afterwards or the next day or something. We might figure something out because I don't want to get it jammed up. I want to keep it. I want to keep it somewhat organized. Joe Cool said, I can't even keep up with all of Ronnie's uploads lately. He has been on fire. Ron Arkey. I told you guys, listen, it's coming. There was a couple people who got mad. They were like, stop telling us shit's coming. And I was like, just trust me, it is coming. Under no circumstance do I want to say, I got a lot of shit planned and then not do any of it. If I had an editor, you guys would hate me. Let's say I had an editor for just a month. You would hate me. You would hate it so bad. It's not even funny. I would have to open up a separate channel just for some stuff because I have so much stuff that is already filmed and I just need help getting it edited and getting it out. A problem is I'll have so much going on and then there's so much new stuff for us to talk about. It's hard to get all of it up, But don't worry, I'm trying to build it so that way I can get a computer that's like a monster and it can render and edit in seconds. Right now I gotta wait, I gotta wait like 20-30 minutes to get it rendered, and then when I upload it I usually gotta wait 20 minutes or so. Some are quick, some are 10 minutes, some are longer, some are about 50 minutes if it's a longer video. So once I get the PC a little buffed, super shredder that bitch out, and then again get some type of super shredder internet and everything's in seconds, I might be able to rock and roll with more uploads even. If that's even something you guys want, that's a bit much. We don't like map downtrending. I agree. I don't like it downtrending either. I like being discussing. I wish I could discuss even more than what we can get to. But that might be coming up. Listen, keep an eye out for a lot more videos coming up, cause Cody 196 with a $10 donation. This episode was a total joke. I love making films and writing the scripts, and I do a lot of it with GTA 5, and I think realistically, I could probably make a better storyline than this episode tonight. Thank you very much for the donation. It helps the channel a ton. And if you want some practice, and this is even something that professional screenwriters do, and I always scoffed at it, but I've gotten to know some screenwriters and gotten to talk to some screenwriters, and a lot of them, I think all of them would recommend this. You can take something and write it just for a portfolio. You don't have to own the IP. You don't have to write an episode of The Walking Dead and think they're gonna ever make that episode. All you would do is, let's say you just want to write it to prove that you can. If you're getting into the biz and you show that to somebody as part of your work, maybe you're showing off a script and they want to see what your work looks like, and you show them this Walking Dead episode, and if it's fire, word might get around. They might come to somebody else and be like, yo, this dude wrote this episode, and then people get jobs like that. People get hired for scripts, reading a script that they didn't want, but it was just that good. You know what I'm saying? As weird as that sounds, trust me, that happens. All right, let's get to the fan feedback. Muse said a 15-minute video takes me 7 minutes to get up. Yeah, there are days, too, where the internet will be a little wonky. Sometimes I'll put a 10-minute video up, and it's like 3 minutes later it's done. And then there's sometimes it's a little bit of a drag. All right, what do we got? April, May. I assume you mean Game of Thrones is in April and May. Disappointed as shit with Fear the Walking Dead. Same here. Ronnie, take care of yourself. You look stressed. I think it was this episode. other than this episode, I was kind of just. No, that's not true. I got a lot of shit to get done. I got a lot of shit. I'm always. I don't know. I got a lot of shit to get done. In a little bit, remind me. Someone please remind me. I want to ask questions for anyone who went to Walker Stalker Con. And I want to ask some questions about that because someone in the Matt family, they said they were going to send me tickets or a ticket. And I honestly, because I get people who say stuff all the time. And I mean, like, I don't mean this to sound like follow through with your promises. Not at all. I don't care if someone's like, I'm going to send you this. And then something happens and they can't. I'm not mad at you at all. So when someone was like, I'll send you tickets to Walker Stalker Con, I just assumed it was going to be that. It was going to be like, oh, I'll do it, and then it never happens. But they sent them, and they're really good tickets. I don't know what really good tickets are. I just know these look like really good tickets. There's no way I'd be able to afford these type of tickets. So they shipped it on over, and I want to see like what, I don't know, what is the process of that? I mean, do I print that out? Do I got to bring my ID? And I don't know how that I don't know anything. So, but I might try to get there because they're expensive tickets, and I don't want to let them go to waste. Anybody is comparing Fear the Walking to The Walking Dead. Different people, different problems, different part of the world, different actors that react different. Stop basing fear off The Walking Dead. Actually enjoy the show. It's difficult to enjoy a show though when it's in my opinion, it's written terribly. Now, when it comes to The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, this is where it gets tricky. You say don't compare it. Partially, you're wrong because the universe, it's the same. You can't have different zombies. So if someone, because this is the world, there's no change in it. This is the world, and the rules within that world are the same, whether you're here or there. It doesn't matter just because it's a different show. Anyway, so if someone is comparing it based on those rules, that's a comparison that's fine. I hear that all the time. When I talk about the two, people will be like, don't compare it. And it's like, you have to. That's what we're talking about. But if you're talking about something that has to do with, oh, I love Daryl more and I don't like John the same, well, yeah, then you're just comparing the shows. And in that case, you got to look at them as they're different, you know? But it's just not as black and white as judge it on its own. Unfortunately, that's just not how it works. You have the universe. You need to stay within those rules. And then you have the repetition. You don't want the same shit happening all the time. And unfortunately, that's what's happening. We're getting the repetition within the world of The Walking Dead. When Ronnie walks away, you know you need a new showrunner. Listen, I appreciate that. And I feel like that. There's some solid truth in there. Because I will cling on. I mean, and I'm going to watch Fear the Walking Dead. Don't get me wrong. Maybe down the line after half of the season or a few episodes, I might peak, and I mean at my own like pace. You know what I'm saying? I might catch up with some, but there's nothing in this season at all. Honestly, that if I had it spoiled to me or if I watched it later, now that I'm thinking about it, there's nothing at all that I wouldn't care for. You know, it's not like a show I need to witness it for myself. Like Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy. I need to see it. Don't tell me about the episode though. With Fear the Walking Dead though, right now you can tell me what's going to happen in season 5, episode 1, and I have no cares. It's like, all right, go ahead, tell me. You know, there's no interest whatsoever. The interest is completely and utterly shattered. And when I said that just a minute ago about I'll watch because I'm a zombie fan, the minute those words left my mouth, I almost immediately wanted to take them back and go, I didn't even like the zombie stuff in this. I think they look good. Like visually they look good, but I can't even think of some cool zombie. It's like the same old, same old. It's like they don't even focus. It's like people who they want to film stuff between people, and unfortunately they got to put up with the zombie show. So yeah, let's throw zombies in there. that's how it feels. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's me not enjoying the whole show, but. And again, now's the time. If you loved the episode, speak up. I want to hear people who loved the episode, what you loved about it and why. And I there was a couple moments I loved. I loved, as cheesy as it was, I loved the Angie's ale, the beer coming back in. I love the conversation with Strand and Alicia up until the point where Strand verbalized it because the audience is too fucking stupid. And then I like the moment with the little girl chugging a beer. There was another moment. Oh yeah, I like the concept really big time of Morgan washing the crazy off. His own insanity baptism. I love that in concept. So find stuff like that. I'm open. I'm not gonna say I hated it, so you're an idiot. You should hate it too. No, if you liked something about it, speak up. Wait, bad meaning bad, not bad meaning good? No, bad meaning bad, I think. Yeah, Taylor. Taylor, that's it. Usually people have well, no, I guess that works. Taylor said, I love watching The Walking Dead, and I've been watching the show from the beginning, holding on to hope it'll get better. I honestly don't know if I can waste my Sunday watching it next year. That trailer better be lit. Yeah, I agree with you. It better be lit as fuck. Godzilla2472 with a $5 donation to the map channel. Thank you very much. Glad to be back on the super chats. It's been too long, my man. Too bad it had to be for this shit episode. You need to do more Predator streams. I'm going to do a solo Predator stream. I want to do a solo pitch Predator because I love that idea so much. But I want to be able to pitch it a little bit smoothly because the end there where the Predator does the kill and stuff, it needs to be like a oh shit moment. It's got to be vicious. It's got to be like uneasy to watch, really put that Predator badassery back into it. Toledo said the rant was on point. This episode sucked and I honestly don't even know what the hell to do with the show anymore. I know what to do. Walking away. That's what I'm gonna do. Cody196 with a $5 donation to the channel. I wish AMC would let you write Fear the Walking Dead. It would probably be way better. I can't comment on that. Anytime I comment, people say I'm a cocky little dick. But I feel like I'm confident, though, with certain things. Like, I'm not perfect. There's no way I'm going to sit down and do a perfect The Walking Dead episode. I'm not, my ego, I think, like, I'm pretty good with having an ego. When it comes to confidence, if AMC called me up right now and they said, listen, here's $100,000. We need you to write season 5, I'm confident enough that'll be fuck. You're not even ready. You're not even ready. And most episodes will have the majority of stuff you haven't seen before on the Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead because that'd be the first thing I went to. I'd scrap whatever stupid ending they had here with people and helping each other. I would keep Morgan's person intact. I wouldn't just change his character. I would keep the characters intact, but I would bring something in that would just change the game. That's one thing I would look at. And yeah, I don't know, but they gotta come with that money. I'll do it. I feel like I can do it. I got this. Brian Acom. Hey Ryan, and you can have anyone else. I'll give you the scripts. You can have anyone's name on it. You can have anyone direct it. You can have the same showrunners do it. If they change it and it's the season's ass, I'm gonna tell people. I'm gonna be like, yeah, they changed it. But if you do what I tell you to do, you'll get 10 seasons out of it. Now I'm being cocky. I'm just goofing around, being playful. And Ronnie, this year hasn't been the best for The Walking Dead, has it? Why do you think the franchise is suffering recently? Well, there's a number of reasons. It isn't just one thing. It isn't just one thing, and then I go into one thing. But the truth of the matter is, everything has that, when it's fresh and new, everything has that fresh hype to it. You're never getting that back, and that's with everything. And I mean everything. There's always that introduction hype, let's call it. I don't know what else to call it. It's when you're first introduced to something. Stranger Things had it. You'll never get it back. No matter how much you love Stranger Things, you're never going to get that rise back. Stranger Things Season 4, you might not have as much hype for it. Season 5, it might not feel the same, even though you are enjoying it. Same thing with Breaking Bad. That introduction hype. And that hype, the ride up, even though it kept you at that high, nothing breaks that introduction hype. And I think I'll have to come up with a better name for it because that sounds stupid. But I think the thing with The Walking Dead is a part of it with the fan base is it had that introduction hype where it just kept conquering shit. Fortnite did that recently. Kept conquering shit. Now, no one I know plays it anymore. You know what I'm saying? No one I know even talks about it anymore. It's still fine. It's still making money. It still has a big fan base. It's just where people move on, When it comes to The Walking Dead, it hit a point where you had so much repetition going on with everything they had coming out. There was a lot of stumbles, I feel. Not enough risks. Not enough refreshing uniqueness to it. We needed something that was connected within the world of The Walking Dead that had that fresh introduction hype. Don't give us the same old hype. We already had that. We've been gagging on that hype for years now. We need something new. We need something new to come in through that door. I don't know where I'm going with that, but you know what I'm saying? Especially with Fear, it's pronounced. You can see it. You're almost drowning in it. This worked. So let's just do that again. And that is Fear the Walking Dead, almost for the majority of it. I think the first season, and I'm always going to go back to the budget because I can't think of any other reason why you would build up a breakdown to just time skip. And if you look at what the budget would be during a breakdown versus an army coming up and setting a perimeter, that's a budget thing. That, and here's something else. When I was learning how to do screenwriting for Hollywood, and I'm talking about being trained for it, going to courses for it, learning from a couple of them, doing seminars and shit like that, a couple teachers that I heard from were some of the best in the industry. One of the things they teach you is how to write with budget in mind. That's one of the most important things when you're on the job. Like if they hired me right now and said, yeah, you know what, that Fear was ass. Let's get that asshole from YouTube because he's a nobody, but hell, he has a couple good ideas. Let's bring him over. I'm going to have to, no matter how much it's going to suck, write that with a budget in mind. You gotta. You absolutely gotta. Because that's one thing they don't want to see. You can't hand in a script and them look at it and go, oh, motherfucker, what? You got spaceships and shit? Like, no, hells no. We're going to put you in a little fenced-in area? Have them fight each other. What are you talking about? What is all this madness? And I feel like that's why I want to explain. That's why I do blame the budget, because I could be wrong. Trust me, I could be wrong. But when I see that, what pops in my head is it's a screenwriter writing with budget in mind. Because if you look at the fenced-in area and how they're filming, it's more like a set now. And it's less chaotic. The breakdown, because a breakdown is expensive, it's messy. Look at the breakdown they were filming in Fear the Walking Dead in the beginning. They were in a barbershop peeking out to it. So they only had to go around and get a little bit of coverage when they were running out, and through the windows and peeking, they had to make it look good and make it look hype. But filming the breakdown of society is expensive and it's messy, and there's no way they were going to pull it off. Wait, hold on. We got a donation. I could keep chit-chatting, but you guys want me to shut up. I can tell. I can sense it. I can sense that shit. Godzilla, 2472, $5 donation. You missed my super chat. Almost did I mention that villain sucked. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go back up. Uh, wait. We got Godzilla. I did that one. Worst opening ever. And then Godzilla again. Glad to be back. I did that one. Cody. I wish AMC would let you write. Oh, no, I got it. You must not have heard it. Godzilla, you missed my super chat. Also, did I mention that villain sucked complete ass? Seriously, by the way, the Predator comics didn't pull the DNA thing. That was the movie. Yeah, I got your last $5 donation, and that was about the Predator streams. And yeah, I do want to do another video about the Predator streams. I started getting into the Predator comic, and what I did was I got a couple Predator comics. I bought one for my phone, and I was reading it, and then I got a couple bootlegs off of the computer. Don't worry. If I like the story, I'm definitely going to buy it. But I got the bootlegs of this guy. The Predator, it's called Fire and Stone. It's a story. Well, NECA made a toy, and I was going to talk about the Predator story, and then I figured that they made a new toy. Let's look at what this Predator looks like. And as a Predator fan, I got to tell you what. I thought I was just going to review this for you guys and then get that sucker shipped back out the door and send it somewhere else. But when he came in, it was love at first sight. I was like, holy hell. He comes with a skull that's almost the size of my skull. No, it's not that big, but I was like, what? And then I found out it's an engineer skull. And I was like, spoiler alert, but I was like, what? That shit's crazy. They take the story, apparently, and they mix it with aliens and Prometheus and Predators. So it's all three of them mixed in. So I do want to discuss more Predator stuff, but no, I haven't read anything about any DNA. But there's some weird shit in the Predator comics, don't get me wrong. They still got human on human, the translation stuff, they still talk to each other in there, which a lot of people said was dumb in Predator 2018. But they do it in the comics. They're talking to each other like, listen, homie, you're going to come with me. Like, there's mad shit going on that's corny as hell. But for the comics, it works. But you have to understand that someone coming in to film this is going to pull some of that corny stuff for a movie. And I think that's where it gets a little iffy. Let me scroll back up because on my main feed, I got all your super chats. I want to scroll back up to see if maybe it didn't go up to my main feed. Nope, I got them. You said glad to be back on the super chats. It's been too long. And then too bad it had to be for this shit episode. You need to do more Predator streams. That's the only other one that's here. Someone said the horror element is missing. If you're talking about Fear the Walking Dead, yeah, that's right. That right, business is business. The smaller the budget, the worse any show will be. That's absolutely true. And I've talked about this being, story is, and this is where it's a catch-22. Story is your most important element. It's absolutely your most, without a good story, you can't do shit. However, and this is the catch-22, the budget is the single most important thing. Because if you don't have the budget for that story, you're out of luck. If you have, for example, the pilot episode of The Walking Dead, they made that for, let's say, I forget what it was, but let's say $4 million it took to make that pilot. Let's say I went back in time, they're about to film the pilot, and I came in and said, okay, AMC, I don't know why I would, but you have to shoot the pilot with just $1 million. You're not getting the pilot. You're getting something different. And it could have came out good. It could have, absolutely. I feel there's definitely ways you can work around a smaller budget, but I think whatever's going on here, it fails too much with Fear, because it does fall heavily onto the repetition. Shit we've seen already. Howling Wolf said, Ronnie, didn't part of the end of this episode feel like the close of a chapter in a series of beer promotions? Laugh out loud. Yeah, sure, why not? I was too heated to take anything in. Muse said, Gimple loves Lenny James. He wasn't going to let him get killed on The Walking Dead, so he sent him to be the leader on Fear. That could be it. Taylor said, I really don't think we're greedy fans. We want to like the show. That's why it hurts. Oh, I don't think we're greedy fans. Brandon Neer said the writers for Better Call Saul are way better than those dorks who wrote season 4 of The Walking Dead. Uh, I can't say anything. I didn't watch it yet. I do want to go back into it and catch up on it, but some of the previews, I'm liking what I see. I just hope it, for me, I like it all connected together. Ruggedly Handsome said, I just hope we get to see a bunch more of peanut butter protein bars next season. Those are just hilarious. Sarcasm. Ronnie O.G. Hayes. Season 4 of The Walking Dead was the best in the series, said Nathaniel Strangman. Season 4, in my opinion, is really underrated. When I go back to rewatch that, there's more and more I love about it. Yeah, is it a slow burn? Yes. There's stuff that gets a little iffy. Yeah, but I do want to talk about that one. It's going to be a while before we get to it, but we will be getting to it. I already have part of the script in because when I go back and rewatch it, I always jot down more of the script, so I already have it started. Miguel Lopez, I love this episode and the season. Why are y'all hating? Well, I've talked ad nauseum about what I hated. If you loved it, just tell us why. I mean, we're all ears. I'm not going to shit talk you for loving it. I mean, if you love it, that's what's up. Go ahead, but I'd like to know why, you know? I mean, geez, I just realized that since Season 9 takes place 18 months later, so will Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. That's going to be cool, right? I hope. At this point, I just don't even care. I don't care if it's a month later or 20 years later. They're not going back. You know, if they were, they'd hint it. That'd be a great cliffhanger or a great ending. The Fear the Walking Dead show is great, says Miguel. Tell us why, though. Tell us why. That's why I think these conversations... I do think that's why some fans revert to just being dicks to each other, and I'll be honest. Because I feel like I didn't just say I hated it and it sucks. You know, I clearly stated why, and I laid it all out there. And if you liked it, instead of just being like, oh, I love it, stop hating, tell us what you loved about it. Open our eyes. Let us know what about it you enjoyed in detail. And that's why I say it like that, because for those who did enjoy it and they know why they enjoy it, they'll tell us. And then it'll be like, okay, well, I know that's why you liked it. But for so many people, that's where they draw the line. Oh, you want me to tell you what I like about it? I can't think of anything, so F you, you know? Just let us know what you like about it. We'll discuss it. It could just be simple, different tastes. You don't mind that there's convenient writing. There's some things I cut slack for, too. Like, in Looper, I don't think of the time travel. I don't care. I like it, you know? I don't give a shit if it doesn't line up. I could care less. So if it's that, you know, it's that. Why do you think Daryl runs the sanctuary? Right off the top of my head, I would think he does it because he doesn't trust any other shit popping off. He wants to be like, keep my friends close and my enemies closer type thing, type relationship with the sanctuary. That's how I feel. I like Season 5 of The Walking Dead the best. That was my favorite version of the cast, by the way. Said Simby Spidey. Dolores Bird. Daryl took Comic Dwight's storyline. Yeah, he did. I'm kind of upset about that because everyone was saying before Dwight was cast, Daryl's going to take Dwight. You know, he's going to have the burn face. And I was like, come on, that's so ridiculous. And then everyone's saying he's going to take Dwight's storyline. And then, no, he didn't. You know, we had a Dwight, we had a Daryl. And then Daryl tells Dwight to leave, and look what happened. He takes his storyline. So I hope they bring Dwight in. Dwight, I don't care if Dwight doesn't run the sanctuary. But if they bring Dwight back and put him with helping out with Alexandria like it is in the comic now, I'll be happy with that. You can keep Daryl at the sanctuary. I'm cool with that. If you noticed, I hit my teeth with the glass just there. I wanted to chug that iced tea, and I didn't want to gulp it in the microphone. Be like, gulp, 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 gulp. Anyway, Taylor Barton said in Season 5 of Fear, Morgan's group should go to the junkyard where Jadis and her people were and start another community so they can also trade and work with Rick's group communities. Yeah, but they're not gonna now because reasons, I guess. Muse said, yes, villains sucked. She wasn't the worst of all The Walking Dead or Fear either. The boat hijackers were the worst. I didn't like them, to be honest. They were pretty bad. I can't even remember, but it's definitely a tie in my book. What little I can remember is definitely a tie. Who knows? If I go back and rewatch it, I might be like, oh yeah, they were bad. But the biggest problem with me is, even with her being stuck and none of her actions made any sense, even being stuck. Like, Morgan's made sense. Morgan's was beautifully done, and I feel like maybe the writer who came up with her version of being stuck, and I'd be shocked if Scott Gimple did it, because Scott Gimple was coming on board to help out a little bit with maybe some advice and opinions and stuff, and he was the chief content officer. Gimple came up with... Really, bruh? Gimple came up with Morgan being stuck, and he was stuck because of how he lost his son. He didn't have what it took to kill his wife as a walker, and in their scavenging, his wife ended up killing his son right in front of him. You know, and then if you listen closely when he talks about it in season 3, episode 12, Clear, he says, and then he did it. And then it wasn't until after she killed his son he had the courage to put her down. It wasn't until then. And you see how he needs to clear. He didn't clear. He didn't kill his wife. Well, he didn't clear because clearing meant killing his wife. And he couldn't do it. He didn't have the strength for it. And it cost him one of the only things in his life left that was like another part of him. It was like another piece of his heart, another piece of his soul. And he lost it because he didn't clear. The weight of that broke him. It made him stuck. Hence, he was clearing. It's beautiful. It's poetic. I love it. Here, you have this chick who, and if I get it wrong, help me see it, and maybe I will. But you have a chick who, I didn't hear what she said. Someone ran her off the road or some shit like that. She crashes. Her husband dies. She tries to go out and get help. And she wasn't strong enough to do what? I'm stronger than you. I bet you any money. I bet you right now I will whoop your ass in a one-on-one. Bring it, bitch. Bring it, you know? I'm stronger than you. I'm not going to do shit. I'm not a doctor. Dude was cut in half or something. What does being strong have to do with shit? I mean, maybe she meant like you pull someone over, or maybe she meant before they were fleeing, or anything. I mean, anything. You guys help me. What did she mean? Where does strength come into play when someone's bleeding out? What, did you fall asleep and just wake up and go crazy? Where in the world does strength come into play at all when it comes to someone bleeding out? It doesn't make any sense. Do you see the difference between Morgan being stuck and how beautiful and poetic that is versus this girl here? Everyone keeps calling her the dirty girl, and she is the dirty girl because they put all that mud on her face. It just looked so terrible. And maybe help me see what was... Help me see the connection, I guess. I don't know. I don't see it. Godzilla, with a $5 donation to the chat, said, the predators are smarter than humans, so yeah, they're going to know how to learn human language. Also, I know you got my SC. I sent the SC right as you read it. Super chat. Oh, I'm confused now. But thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, I'm just a little confused because you said I missed it, and then you said no, you know I got it because I read it when you sent it. Don't mind me. My focus is on what did I just watch? But thank you very much for the donation, dude. Guys with a $5 dono. Just got back from watching the episode. I'm just glad Morgan didn't die. So you hated it? I hated it with a passion, brother. I hated it with a passion. Miguel Lopez. Fear has flexibility, and the overarching theme for Morgan came full circle this season. He started off running from people in the premiere and ended up running after people in the finale. Okay, brother. That's all you got. Love away. The part with Morgan, I did talk about that. I don't know if you were here when I did, but about him washing his face. Like I said, I agree with you there. The one thing you mentioned that you loved it, coincidentally, is the one thing I said I loved about the end of it. In concept, though, because the shit leading up to it with the weak enemy, the convenient storytelling, all that falls apart when it's all put together, though, you know? As far as Fear has flexibility, I don't even know what you mean by that. If you mean there's no connection to the comic, yeah, sure. Because even though the TV show, it has flexibility, it does whatever it wants, it always circles back around to the main points, like meeting Negan, the lineup, the Negan living. It always comes back around to stuff like that, which you could say isn't flexible, and I'll agree with you on that. I mean, I don't, that's not a con in my opinion when it comes to The Walking Dead, because I don't want it to be flexible. I want it to adapt the comic story and give it to us on the screen. So Kramer with a 199 super chat. Seems like everything was going great until Gimple. I don't know. This is a tricky thing because Gimple did. At what point was everyone like, that Gimple guy? I mean, everyone was praising him as like the man. He came in for season 4, and I think he totally redeemed the Governor storyline. The fall of the prison, there was so much of that I loved. Even when they went on the road, I did not like the split storytelling, but I thought maybe this is it. They're going to do it now to bring them all together for 5, but no, they continue to do that shit. And then season 5, loving it. Season 6, up until the finale, that's when I think people were like, that Gimple guy, what was he thinking? And the way he answered and responded to people, it didn't make any sense. Like, the death isn't the story, it's what happened. It still doesn't make any sense. Like, yes, it is. What are you talking about? The whole season was the lead up to this one very moment of just crushing us and then leaving us in that, that to just sit there and no, it was done straight for the ratings. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It was all done for ratings only. The story had nothing to do with it. That's just BS. And that's when fans started going, oh, that Gimple guy. And then with Carl, and then with Rick, and like I said, I will still pick out the parts that Gimple does that I love and that I like, and then the parts I don't like, I'm still going to talk about it, but I can't blame him for everything. At this point in time, I can't. I mean, I love the stuff he did up until the cliffhanger, and then a lot of season 7 and 8 were just crumbling apart, especially with all those split episode storytelling shits and a lot of the filler and communities that just didn't matter. Like, here's the trash group, and then it doesn't even matter because Simon just kills them all, which in concept, again, like how Fear does stuff in concept that I like. I like the Morgan wiping his crazy away. The concept with Simon going overboard once before and killing a whole community and then doing it again in concept, I like that. However, I feel like there could have been a way to include that but not have as much filler. You know what I mean? We don't need to be connected to this crew, this junkyard people. Just show they're weird, interact with them a little bit, tiny bit, keep it in and out, keep it moving, have Simon kill them all, and that's that. It really felt like they needed to just shut this down. They used them for the filler to fill out the season, and then when it come to All Out War, they just needed them out. So they just had Simon kill them all. That's how it felt. Berserkaholic. Why do you think the villain lady told the truth about the poison being antifreeze, or what could the logic possibly be from the writer's point of view? She had no reason to. If she really wanted it to go down the way she tried to make it go down, she wouldn't have told him. But then again, there's that convenient storytelling. She told him, and you can argue she didn't believe there was any way for him to reach them, which doesn't make any sense because if he can hear them through the walkie, he's almost close enough to be able to respond back. He just needs to get that little bit of distance. So, I don't know. Yeah, Miguel Lopez said the villain was ass, but the Morgan arc worked. There's parts of the Morgan arc I like, and sure, you could say it worked overall, but he's still bounced up out of there with people that he knows and loves, and he's just going to help random strangers. He's not going back, and we know why he's not, because the writers know something that Morgan can't possibly know. There's no reason to go back. Dude, guys, with a $5 dono. I didn't think the characters could possibly go to the original show. Isn't season 9 of The Walking Dead years ahead of this episode? I don't know. I don't look into the spoilers. I do know there's a rumor of 2 time skips. We don't know how long they'll be. I haven't looked into anything else after that, so I know the first time skip is a year and a half. They confirmed that. So if Morgan is here and he left right after All Out War, it's got to take him at least a half a year on foot to go to the other side of the United States. So let's say The Walking Dead is, when we return to it, at least a year. But I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that. But again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because The Walking Dead being ahead of it, all you have to do is have them take however long, if it's a year ahead of it or 2 years ahead of it, just have it take that long for them to get there. And keep in mind, having Morgan go from from The Walking Dead to Fear the Walking Dead, it doesn't matter how far The Walking Dead is at that point, because it's always going to be at the moment All Out War ends. They're always going to have that timeline set up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to put that into words. I'm just going to move on. My brain is like, you know what I mean, though? You got to go by Morgan being alive and leaving after All Out War. So that timeline, him being here now, that's well after in that moment of time. So it all depends on that second time skip. Doomsday Kingdom fan community with a $5 donation. Just cause issue rocked. Hell yeah. And again, if anyone read the issue and you want to talk to others, MAP member John Henderson opened a Facebook fan community. It's Doomsday Kingdom fan community page. Just look it up and go and chit chat with others. I wouldn't respond to this because this comment doesn't make any sense. Undead Sick 83 said, again, you actually think you can do better than the people who are working in the business for like 20 years? Ugh, the arrogance. And about the cop car thing, it's freaking fiction, dude. First off, you have no idea what you're talking about. The showrunners have not been in the industry for 20 years. If you want to look up how they are, because I looked recently and they're younger guys, so if they've been in the industry 5 years or whatever, it doesn't even matter. Second off, there's so many evidence and so much proof of people who are new coming out with one of their first works and it being, just whoa. You know what I mean? Age and how long you're in the business, it doesn't matter. To get the technical stuff done, I give that to you. You need to be in it and you need to learn all the nooks and crannies. But when it comes to creativity, bro, you do realize that's just people and a good imagination and thinking things. Like, that's literally all it is. If you think you need to be in the business for 20 years, you're just saying that to try to take a dig at me, which I don't care because I made fun of myself before I said that. I knew we get these comments once in a while. And as far as the cop car, why are we even allowed to have opinions if it's just a movie, dude? It's just fiction, dude. I can't even talk to people like that. That's what immersion is. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to defend the show, and the people creating the show, if any of them are real filmmakers, they want to capture that immersion. When I've been around anybody at all, little or big, and it hasn't been too big, only a few people in the industry, One thing is immersion. That immersion is extremely important. And something like that, that doesn't fly. Yeah, it's a cop car. The battery should be dead. The gas most likely shouldn't work. They shouldn't have a walkie in there. If it did, maybe they show that it works, but the batteries were leaking and there's that acid crap coming out of it. I don't know. Maybe they have a different battery that doesn't, whatever. But a good writer would have taken that information and did a different part of the story. But they didn't because they want to write on convenience. It just works. It just does. But that pulls people out of the immersion. Because then when you go to watch The Walking Dead, you hear in the interviews how serious they take it. Angela Kang is talking about, yo, it's so great because the gas is drying up. We got to go to horses. That's the immersion of latching onto the realism that you establish within that world. If you're not doing that, what are you even here for? I mean, what are you even trying to be entertained for? That's like watching Z Nation and then going and playing The Last of Us and going, why did Last of Us even try? They should have just thrown shit at us because who cares? It's just fiction, dude. No, you're that comment is utterly ridiculous. The people who say it's just fiction should not work in Hollywood. If you want to make something that just, have fun and just whatever or makes money, then go do it. But there's people in that industry who want to make shit because they're passionate about them. They want to focus on that realism, the tiny details, and those people oftentimes creates work that is actually moving. You ever watch a movie or show or hear a story and someone with passion behind it? It actually moved you. You experienced something that is so powerful emotionally that it's like or similar to a real emotion you felt in real life with something you actually went through. You know what I'm saying? It's that experience you'll never forget. That's great storytelling. That's the passion that I feel like all people in the industry should have. It shouldn't just be like, well, this is fake, so who cares? Because if that's the case, what are we even doing here? Honestly, I don't know. We got Dude Guys with a $5 super chat. I started hating Scott Gimple with season 7. Too much filler and metaphor dialogue. I can't stand the Gimple speak. That's what people call it. Yeah, I did notice that. More and more people call it Gimple speak. There is validity to that. There's stuff going around in The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead where the dialogue doesn't feel realistic, especially in this season of Fear the Walking Dead. The dialogue felt like it was trying to be too deep and too poetic, and it didn't feel like normal people talking. I will agree there. Even though he has contributed to some of the really great moments and some really great dialogue, there is a lot of people wouldn't talk like that moments. There's just a lot of you're trying to be deeper than you really need to be for what you're showing us. Anyway, I didn't know we were an hour and a half now. Let's get a few more questions in, and then we're going to end the program for tonight. I will say, when The Walking Dead comes back, and I will remind you guys again sometime this week, the plan right now definitely is we're going to have a 1-hour live stream after every episode, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, like we've been doing. Except now, I will go ahead and do a Monday review later on in the day, possibly 6 p.m. every day Monday, Eastern Standard Time. And it will be a short 3 to 8 minute review, maybe 10 for a bigger episode or an episode with more stuff in it. And it will likely not be a camera, talking head, but it'll likely be a polished, and I'm just going to spit out the important. I'm not going to break down every single little nook and cranny and say what I like and didn't like. It'll just be like a nice polished review. So that way everyone will get something that they want. Some people like the live streams. Some people just want a quick 3-minute or 8-minute review that just hits all the notes and keeps it moving, So that's going to be the plan going into season 9. We'll have a review on Sunday and Monday. So Sunday, it's going to be like back in the day when I did a first impression review on Sunday night, and then I did the review on Monday. Instead, now the first impression review is going to be like an hour long because it'll be a live stream, but with fan feedback. So Frederick Bailey with a $5 donation. Thank you very much. I know you did another one with a comment. I'm going to get to that in a second. Do Guys with a $2 dono. If I had a penny for every time Martha said strong. Yeah. Frederick Bailey said, Ronnie, please send me your specs and I will get you the PC system you need. I appreciate that. I don't even know what I'm doing. The specs like I have on my PC, I'll write them down and let you know. Would I only need to upgrade? I don't know what you're saying. So I'll write down what I got on my PC and then send them over to you, and then you'll send me like where I need to upgrade it, like maybe get a new like a graphics card or something like that. That could work. I could send it to you, and that way you can give me some tips and advice on what to buff up to really make my computer like Super Shredder. Wait, where's your comment? There it is. Frederick Bailey with a $5 donation again. Here's your comment. FYI, my family will get you the computer system. It'll take some time, but it will show up. Please contact me privately, and I'll take care of it. Oh, bud, you really don't have to. I mean, you really don't have to. I don't want anyone going out of their way. I'll hit you up privately. We'll talk about that, but trust me, you really don't have to. I would feel like I don't even deserve that. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you privately, though. Many things, and I really do appreciate it. I don't mean to like blow you off or write you off. No, I will not blow you off. Okay, stupid joke. Many things we discuss later appears on the show. Tornado traps, medieval tech. Makes you wonder if they watch blogs for ideas. Oh, they watch. That's one of the, and I know for a fact there's a number of people. I've talked to people. I don't come on the channel and just gloat and throw it around. And I know for a fact there's people who I may have spoken to, or let me just say, I know for a fact there's probably people who work on Fear the Walking Dead who probably just hate my guts because I reviewed it bad, and they'll never talk to me again. I mean, it's just the way it is. But I can't lie just because maybe I had a couple cool conversations with a certain somebody, or you know, I just can't do it, you know. I didn't go after any one person in particular, so it wouldn't be that. It would just be like, I don't like the show you're involved in. So it's like, but I can't lie. I don't know what to do. Do I not? Like, I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I'm not programmed like that. I can't just beat around the bush. I got to tell you straight up, like, this is so bad, I don't even want to watch the new season. And they'll hear it. A lot of them will hear it. Anyway, Adrian V said, any thoughts on the story next season? Do they eventually go to Virginia? At this time, it doesn't appear so. If a lot of the fan community flips their shit and says, I'm done, I guarantee you it'll be like they're working their way to Virginia. Ow. That hurt. That, like, something heavy fell on my toe. That hurt. Wait, what? That guy who chewed out Ronnie called him old. I got called old on YouTube for the first time a few weeks ago. I'm old? That stings, bro. Gregory O. Monahan. Only read if you don't mind knowing about the Telltale game. Did you see the Whisper in the Walking Dead season finale? Thanks for spoiling it, bro. Come on now. Yeah, of course I saw it. Telltale promoted that. I was so mad. It was just, they just, here's the promotion. And it's just a desperate attempt to tie into the comic to pour more people into it. And don't tell me it wasn't, because they weren't even coming close to meeting the sales that they needed to. And they thought that would help at least a little bit. Oh. Melissa B says, I'm suspect there. Maybe just one lone guy behind the scenes writing and improving their own scripts. That might be it. Wow, my foot is on fire. I like cracked that bone right on top. Dude, guys, with a $2 dono. Scott Gimple is the next George Lucas. Ouch. Ouch. Melissa B says, just the fact that they never explain the season 3 dam ending is absolutely unacceptable all on its own. Who the hell do they think they are pulling that? Yeah. Just what? What went wrong this season started out so strong. That is something that is bugging me. And I do kind of want to just go back and skim the episodes because I truly felt like there was some serious passion and care that went into the beginning half. And I can't help this feeling that when you watch it, there is that dive in, passion, get it done. And then when you watch this second half, it just feels like they're burned out. You know, it's like they're writing the script and they just don't give a shit. It's like, how do they get here? They find a car. Like, I know, like, the guy tried to, we had a little tiff or bickering back and forth, right? I mean, I don't give a shit. I don't take that personally. I'll probably forget about that in the next 10 seconds. But the truth is, that is one of the first signs of a writer who either A, is incompetent, and I don't think they're incompetent because they did some stuff that was really good, that looked like they actually looked for a story to tell. This is how you do bad writing. Let's see. They need to get over here. They don't have a car. They hotwire a car. They find another walkie-talkie next to the cop car with the walkie-talkie with the gas and the battery. She finds a van that was from a news station, and guess what? It's right next to it. Like, come on. Like, I know the dude was just being like, maybe he loved the episode and he's oversensitive, or he was just mad that I hated it. But, bro, they literally wrote a scene where she spouted exposition for us that made no sense why she would tell them. And then found the walkie-talkie with batteries, the car with a battery, the car with gas. Right next to it was something for a camera. Why the camera? Because it was cool that she got an upgraded camera because she lost hers, but also so she could get knocked out in the most convenient way with the 2 bullets, the 2 walkers. And then the girl leaves her message for Morgan that's going to trip him up. That is terrible writing. That is absolutely terrible writing. There's no excuse for that. Which is better, The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, Mr. Ronnie? I'd have to go with The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead has stumbled along the way, absolutely. But we're comparing a connection to 8 seasons to something with 4 seasons. I think it would be fair if The Walking Dead stopped at season 9, and then Fear the Walking Dead made it and stopped at season 9, and then I think it's fair to compare them. But as of right now, I'd have to pick The Walking Dead over Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead made me not even want to watch it. The Walking Dead, I still at least have hope. Wonder what Frank Delane is up to. Probably happy as fuck. Yo, and that's another thing. Like, you can be mad at me all you want that I don't like this episode, but the warning signs are there. They had to get rid of their showrunner. They had to bring in new showrunners. They had actors on the set, actors in the storyline that were supposed to be important characters saying, nope, I want out. I mean, you had, what's his name, wanted out, and then he came back, and it still wasn't good enough, and he wanted out again. That was Daniel Salazar. He came in, no, this shit is not going well, and he burned himself up, but it was open-ended. Then he came back, and they couldn't do it, and he's gone again. They might even get him back, or he might be gone for good. Then we had Nick. He's like, I'm peacing out. I could have sworn there was another character that's like, I'm out of this bitch. There's just problems in the production, the writing. There's just so many problems. Yeah, I enjoyed the beginning. At least I feel like I did. It This back half didn't go anywhere, though. It feels like they are making the show terrible on purpose, and it's so obvious they don't care. Maybe a distraction to make The Walking Dead look even better as a show. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would do that at all. I can't picture them doing that. You just simply make The Walking Dead better. You know what I'm saying? If you want The Walking Dead to be better than Fear the Walking Dead, you just simply write The Walking Dead better. No matter how good Fear the Walking Dead is, you do the other one better. And The Walking Dead this season needs to be fire. You have something like The Whispers. That is like a gold gift from Kirkman. If you just look at them and how they translate to screen, and I hope they changed it for the trailer, but them making The Whispers like the, where are they? Okay, you're onto something, but do not make them that noticeable and loud in the show. You got to film it a certain way to keep it to keep that creepiness intact, but don't make it so damn obvious. So there's a chance they could blow it in a certain, in a certain light, in a certain way. But man, The Whispers are designed perfectly for TV. If they don't do that right, there's no hope for them. Yeah, this is getting late. We got to shut it down. I keep saying that. I love hanging out with you guys. I love this, so I always say we're shutting it down, and then I keep going. But we got to shut it down. I forgot. I got to get my daughter up for school in the morning. Sure, I already fell asleep. Ikshay with a 99 donation to the channel. Thank you very much for the support, brother. Everything helps. Cody196 with a $2 dono. Imagine if Daniel came back for season 5 premiere. He might. He might. But let's face it, if they stay put, sure, they can write it off. But if they go on the move, I don't know. He is a first-time actor, Salazar. I think I'm reading that wrong. He's definitely not a first-time actor. There's no way. I've watched him growing up. I've been watching his stuff. I watched him in The Predator. I've watched him in The Super, with Joe Pesci. I love that line. He's like, wait, no. The guy's got a hideaway wallet in his leg. I think we talked about this. And Joe Pesci comes waddling out. He's like 4 feet tall. He's like, how do I look? And he looks ridiculous. He looks like someone who's trying to fit into the urban community. And the Daniel Salazar, Ruben Blades, that's his real name, he looks down at him and he goes, yeah, you look fine. Your outfit screams, come and stick me with a sharp object of your preference, and then take that hideaway wallet I got in my ankle, or something. It was fucking hilarious. I probably ruined it for you. If you've never seen it, I destroyed that scene for you. Anyway, Melissa said, there would have still been plenty of fuel left in that tank, especially considering it took 1 beer each to cure them. Also, they were all acting well again before even taking a sip. Yeah, that's another dumb thing. With the holes in the tank, unless it was like holes all through the direct bottom, you'll have puddles inside. But again, they need the convenient storytelling. They need a cool action scene. And then they need, we're just going to shoot the water or the whatever the hell it is. And then they're full circle coming around. I feel like a better writer would have polished that to they need to get out. Because instead of keeping them sitting there and accepting their fate, they need to get out and they need to find something and show them at the end of their, giving it all they got. And they are almost done for. And my God, we feel so bad for them. They are just giving it all they got to fight up out of there. And it's just bad. And then Morgan just shows up if you want to do something like that. Don't do this. They shoot the truck and lose their own shit. And they just lay there. Let me see. Antifreeze. Antifreeze poisoning. Can you just drink a beer? Vodka as an antidote. Let's see. Antifreeze poisoning is commonly encountered in veterinarian clinics every winter. That makes sense. While there may be a variety of different antifreezes used in today's automobiles, yada, 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 ethylene glycol poses the greatest risk to pets. And ethylene glycol, so dangerous that just 2 teaspoons of the liquid is lethal for a cat, and a couple teaspoons can kill a medium-sized dog. Let's go. Clinical signs. All right, diagnosis. No, treatment. If your pet ingested antifreeze recently enough, one of the first steps in treatment may be to induce vomiting. Yada, yada, yada. Start the antidote. The intervention is critical. Wait. The 2 antidotes for antifreeze is medication called foam something. And then 2 is ethanol, the type of alcohol found in alcoholic drinks. Commercially made pharmaceutical antidotes are the preferred treatment of choice. However, this drug, both antibiotics work the same by blocking the formation of the whatever toxic metabolites that lead to a bunch of kidney damage. Okay. Hard liquors, including vodka and Everclear, when delivered intravenously, can save your pet's life. Your pet will have... See, now that is cool. I like that. I mean, I'll have to, if I really cared, I would have to read into that fully. But I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Like, that's something that, you see that? It's grounded in reality. It's fun. You learn something, and it's neat, and it's like some MacGyver shit. They got antifreeze poisoning, and then here you go, drink some beers. I mean, I'd have to look into that if it was, I don't know, like, if you could just drink beer and be fine. But right there, it seems like it can, because it blocks those receptors and shit, so your kidney doesn't absorb the toxins, and it's like, whoa, okay, I like that a lot. It doesn't mean the episode is good, because all the other shit is trash. Anyway, Ronnie, if you were able to write for season 5, how would you write it, and what would you do? To be honest, if I was even worthy of writing the episode, I couldn't even tell you right now, because I would actually need to sit down and process it and put it together. I can't just know right now. I would need to sit down, and I could tell you what I wouldn't do. Everything you've already seen before in the world of The Walking Dead. I would go for absolute opposites. We've already done cannibals. It's not happening. We've already done scavengers and Negans and crazies. That's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening. So I'd have to come up with something else that's different and unique, and it can be done. Trust me. When you intertwine shit and create new shit, my God, you can do something neat. Imagine that, something that's just totally neat and refreshing. And I tell you what, to prove that no, that's difficult, because you can write a script that doesn't sound as like badass, and then once you film it and get it done with the right talent, it could be like, wow. But what I will do is I will make a follow-up video, one of my last videos for Fear the Walking Dead, and it will cover what I would like to see in future Fear seasons. Give me a little bit. We'll go over that. I swapped out Talking Dead for Map. They don't take the shit serious most of the time. I did the same thing. And it's a shame, because I accept the fact that that's paid for by AMC, so they have to say nice things. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. I have no problems with that. What I have a problem with is they get people on there that are so scared to embrace how geeky and serious they take the show that they just say stupid jokes the whole time. I hate that. It's lame. It's like, all right, so-and-so, irrelevant motherfucker, what's happening next episode? And the person's almost always like, I think this dude is gonna find a zombie and chew on his toenails and make a collection of something and create rings and then give it to this girl, and this girl's gonna use the rings to poison people. And it's like, what nonsense? Like, that doesn't even, what are you? And they're just trying to say ridiculous shit for a laugh. That's how I kind of see most of it, because every time I tune back in, I hear that shit, and I'm just like, come on. I want them to dive in deep with the behind-the-scenes stuff. I want to hear all the cool stuff with filming and characters and people and this and this and this. I don't want ridiculous fan the not I was gonna say fan theories, but no, it would be nice if they went into some theories and stuff. But I don't want that ridiculous everything's a joke because we're afraid to be caught taking this serious. Presley Baldwin, hey there. What would be the top 5 plot points you would like to have seen in Fear the Walking Dead? That sounds like a video title for later. Ronnie, Martha was just mental. I mean, Carol put down Lizzie, and Martha was way worse. John was very much right when he said the Morgan is stuck in his mind. He can only go one way. Yeah. Yep. Did you laugh at the fake ass car crash with Morgan? Looks so crazy. I had to laugh. I did laugh at that. They use Talking Dead to explain away their bullshit stories. It's really pathetic to watch. Everyone's bullshitting on that show. So obvious. Ouch. Alright, guys. We'll have to shut it down now. It is getting kind of late. But thank you very much for coming out here and chit-chatting with me, even though I was negative. If some of you liked it, again, keep in mind, you don't have to change this isn't a channel where you have to change your thoughts and opinions to suit what I liked. If you didn't like it, you could still come out here. I honestly would have liked to hear from more people who liked it. I know we got 1 or 2 people that we read in the chat, and if you wrote in the chat and I missed it, I can't get to everybody, but if I missed it, that does suck because I really would like to go back. So if anyone is this far into the video once this is posted and you want to leave a permanent comment, I would like to try to come back to here and find some. I know there's been a few where I asked for specific comments and I couldn't even find those. So if you want to talk about specifically in detail what you liked to kind of open our eyes to what you enjoyed with this episode, definitely put that in the comments down below. I saw someone say, Paula Stacy said, the only good thing about this episode is that next week, I thought that was a real one. Next week, The Walking Dead is back. At a point, I thought that everybody was going to die. Ha ha ha, what the fuck happened? Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for all the support on Patreon. Thank you very much for the support in the super chats, the financial support, the donations. They help a ton, especially when I got excited because this week we were doing really good with views, and I was like, man, that's going to be good for bumping us into what's coming up, the content wise. And then I got a bunch of content claims from AMC. And if you don't know what that means, is when you get that content claim, you lose that ad revenue and it goes to AMC instead of the map channel. So it's like, I was excited at first, and then I was like, yeah, never mind. So the support absolutely helps. The mods holding it down. I think I did ignore some of my mods. I don't remember seeing questions, but I'm sorry if I ignored some of you. I didn't mean to. Sometimes I see it and I skim it, and it looks like you're talking to someone else, and I'll skip it. But also, Doomsday Kingdom, if you really want to see if I'm just an idiot who's over cocky or I have an ego that's out of control, I promise you this. Issue number 3, listen. Between the writing and the artwork, you gotta love it, or at least like it a little bit. It's on and popping. We are putting in so much passion into this project. I hope it's seeping off of the pages. But if you think issue 3 was crazy, just wait until issue 4. It's called Townfall. I even made up a whole new word for that title. At least I think I made it up. I looked it up. That word doesn't exist. Townfall. Let me type it in again, make sure. Townfall. I just screwed that up. Yep, Townfall doesn't exist, but I'm just creating that word for the comic. Issue number 4. DoomsdayKingdom.com. You can get issue number 3, and then this week we're going to go live with the pre-orders for the Doomsday Kingdom issue 3 and other merchandise. So, thank you very much, guys. I got to get rolling. I love yous.